This is a story about a product that will make you stop and say, "Holy cow." Seriously. Every once in a while, something completely new arrives. Something that changes everything you thought you knew about flying cameras. This is that product. This is the anti-gravity A1. What are you looking at? You have the drone itself. You have the controller, which is called the grip. And you have these crazy, immersive goggles. This is the entire setup. And right now, there is nothing else on the market that flies quite like this. It is essentially a flying version of the Insta360X5 camera. Insta360 is actually the company behind this brand new anti-gravity line. They want to focus entirely on making drones. The core idea is simple, but it changes everything. You can fly this drone anywhere you want. It has two lenses. One sits on the top, and the other is on the bottom. These lenses, along with multiple sensors, capture everything in a full 360-degree sphere around the drone. You simply fly in one direction, and you can look wherever you like later. You do this all while wearing the goggles. More on the goggles in a moment. Because it records everything, just like an Insta360 camera, you never miss a shot. After your flight, you take the footage. You can put it into the mobile app or the desktop studio software. You can play it back, and it looks absolutely lovely. But here is the major difference from any other drone. You can reframe your shot after you have landed. You can set keyframes inside the app. You can even use the built-in AI to help you find the best shots. You can reframe not only the direction you are looking but also the aspect ratio. Do you want 16:9 for a YouTube video? Done. Do you want 9:16 for an Instagram reel or a TikTok short? Done. It's the same single shot exported in two different aspect ratios. This is huge for creators. You don't have to fly the mission again just to get a different format. This feature alone saves a huge amount of time. So, the first question everyone has is this: how is this not an FPV drone? You are wearing goggles, after all. Let's look at two key differences. First, consider something like the DJI Avata 2. Those drones are significantly over the 250-gram weight limit. This anti-gravity A1 drone weighs just 249 grams. This means you avoid a huge number of flight restrictions and regulations right away. Second, FPV drones are generally much faster. They require a lot of experience and training to use them safely and properly. The A1, on the other hand, is incredibly intuitive to fly. You literally just point the controller, which is the grip, in the direction you want to go. Then you hold down the trigger. It is truly easy to fly. But the most crucial difference is that you cannot miss the shot. Because of the full 360-degree capture, you are recording every angle at once. I have had so much fun flying and testing this over the last month. The excitement in my voice is real. Let's take a step back and look at the hardware. This is the whole package. The A1 carry bag is pretty big. It takes up about half of my backpack space. Inside the bag, you have the drone itself, again, weighing in at a super light 249 grams. It looks similar to other drones you see on the market. The main difference is the two camera lenses. It also has this very cute little landing gear. This gear automatically deploys when the drone is coming down to land. This makes it less likely you will scratch the bottom lens. And that's a good thing. However, it is a lot of kit. And it can be a bit of a hassle to set up. Especially the first time you use it. You will have to do software updates. Even the batteries require individual firmware updates. The drone has a swappable battery. The goggles have their own separate battery. This goggle battery has a USB-C port on one side so you can plug it into any Type-C charger. The other side has a proprietary connector that goes into the goggles. This is not a standard USB-C to C cable. The company did this because they wanted the most stable connection possible. They wanted the least likelihood that the cable accidentally pulls out. This is important so you are not left in a dangerous situation mid-flight. Luckily, the carry case helps manage all of this. Inside the case, there is a handy little battery charger. This charger can hold 2 of the drone batteries at once. In terms of battery life, I found that it lasts pretty close to what the company advertised. You get just under 30 minutes of recording time. This is when recording in 8K resolution and doing lots of maneuvers. It is not best-in-class performance, but the company stresses that nothing else out there can capture 360-degree video like this. The goggles, however, last longer. Maybe an hour or more. The grip lasts even longer than that. So, when I was flying around, would get about 25 minutes of flight time. The drone would give a low power warning. I would bring it back, land it, switch the battery out, and go for another half hour. Everything I have shown you so far has been shot at the highest 8K resolution. This is at 30 frames per second. You can drop the resolution down to 5.2K and shoot at 60 frames per second. Or you can go to 4K and shoot at 100 frames per second. The 5.2K and 4K options are better if you want to slow your footage down later to get smooth slow motion. Alternatively, you can switch the video mode directly to slow-mo. But if you want the absolute best image quality, you should definitely shoot in 8K. Some people might think, who needs 8K? That is a stupidly high resolution. But that is not the point here. The idea is that 8K gives you more information. It gives you more data to play with for your editing afterward. It's for reframing. When you come to export your final video, whether from the Studio app or the mobile app, you will be exporting it up to 4K resolution. Here is a tip: if you do get one of these, make sure you change the bitrate setting. The default is medium. You should change it to high for the best image quality. And don't forget, this drone can also take stills. Some of the photos I took are actually pretty nice. I consider myself a pretty decent drone pilot, though certainly not a professional. But I didn't crash it, which is saying something. Controlling it manually was very intuitive. I was able to get some great shots just by moving my body around and turning the drone. It is also worth having a play with some of the pre-made maneuvers. These include orbit, an escalating orbit, or a flyaway shot. There is also a tracking mode. This is very useful if you want to follow a car, a bike, a person, or just a static object. If you are editing on your laptop, you can either use the Premiere Pro plugin. This lets you edit the 360 footage straight from that video editor. Or, you can use the Anti-Gravity Studio app itself. This is where I spend most of my time editing. You can keyframe the different angles and switch the aspect ratio. Importantly, with the desktop app, you can export your video in up to 4K ProRes. This is the highest quality file you can get. Be warned, they are really big files. But I have also been editing a lot using the mobile app. The mobile app has a full video editor. You can still keyframe your shots. But you also get AI editing. This AI will detect the highlights from your clip. It can then put those highlights into a 30 or 60-second short for you. Or it can edit the entire length of your clip. The AI automatically reframes the shot based on what is happening in the scene. You just export that, and you are ready to share. I am also very relieved to say that this pre-release drone has a very safe return-to-home mode. This is important if you lose the connection. The signal has been pretty good for me. Especially if you are facing towards the drone and have the receivers up. But if you do lose the signal over a long distance, or if something blocks the line of sight, the drone will automatically go up to a safer height. It will then start making its way back home. Once it gets closer, you will eventually regain connection. You can then take over manual control if you want. This drone will also give you a payload warning if you try to mount extra things to it. It really does not like that. There is also a dedicated FPV mode. This is for more experienced pilots. If you want the most precise controls, you can use this mode. It lets you control the drone with very subtle wrist movements. It is worth trying, but I much prefer the standard free motion mode. The drone also has a little light on the front. If you are flying in low light or at night, this light will turn on. It is on when you are taking off, landing, and flying at low altitude. It helps illuminate what is below the drone. This entire product has two major unique selling points. Two things that make it really interesting. Firstly, it is the control system. The goggles and the grip and the way you control the drone are truly unique. It is incredibly intuitive once you get used to it. It takes a couple of flights to feel comfortable. You might feel a little bit shaky afterward. That's fine. Flying it feels like a roller coaster. I have never felt more immersed in a drone experience than this. It is truly cool. The second killer feature is, of course, the 360-degree capture. You cannot miss the shot. You can reframe it at any angle you like afterward. This gives you complete creative freedom. You can also buy various accessories. They offer the replacement lens kit we talked about. You can also buy propeller guards. These are very handy if you are prone to getting into a few bumps or scrapes with your drone. You can also buy anti-gravity care. This is for repairs and replacements if you want more peace of mind. I will leave a link for that in the description below. There are a couple of limitations that you need to be aware of. Firstly, you can fly it at night, of course. But the quality is not great. I would recommend shooting at the 5.2K resolution option instead of 8K. This will help reduce some of the noise in the image. Unlike the latest Insta360X5, there is no dedicated, pure video mode for shooting in low light or at night. Also, there are no ND filter options for these lenses. This is a common feature on many drones. Thankfully, the lenses are replaceable if you scratch them. You must make sure you clean the lenses regularly. Even a tiny smudge, a droplet of water, or a bit of dirt will show up clearly in the 360 footage. So, every time you fly, give the lenses a wipe with a microfiber cloth. But maybe my single biggest frustration is that there is no option to shoot in a log color profile. You cannot shoot in a flat color profile at all. This means you cannot do any major color correction in post-production. It is a big limitation for professionals. The footage looks good straight out of the camera. I think the dynamic range is actually incredible, especially since you don't have ND filters. But for many professionals, being able to shoot in log, then add their own custom looks and grade it their own way, is quite important. Also, as I said, occasionally you may see a little bit of stitching artifacting in the footage. This is when the two images don't blend perfectly. It is not ideal, but it happens. Overall, I absolutely love this thing. This drone is a game changer for content creators who need maximum flexibility and want an incredibly fun flying experience. The ability to reframe after the fact is a creative superpower. It is the best opinion I can give you on this product. It is a powerful new tool. If you like the video, subscribe, share the video and hit the bell icon like that.